I know this place, and actually, just like I told you before, I mean, you guys and you and all your guests were home in my place. You guys were home with me because it's just like a song. You don't really care about the others. It's your song now. Those are my episodes. I feel like London Real is mine. That is crazy.
That is crazy, but man, that means so much to me for you to say that. My dad told me when I just started doing this, like 1 year in, he said, Brian, he said, everybody is going to get something different from each episode. And one person might get something from, minute 33, and one gets something from minute 53, and one person might be here or get here, and each person gets the message like they need at the time in their life, and that's what kind of pushes them forward. And so we record these things. We love doing this. I have these amazing conversations, but I never know that they're going to affect some French guy living in the States, or some French guy in Italy, or some French guy slicing vegetables in the kitchen. But I'm so glad that they do.
I'm so happy because when I discovered London Real, I had no idea this type of stuff could really exist. It sounds weird to say that today. It's easy 2016, but like 3 years ago, I mean, for the first time I saw this episode with Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
And I was a huge fan of him, and still I didn't know his name, and I had to Google like keywords of guru story, something like that, and for minutes, which looks like eternity on Google, and all of a sudden I saw your face with Sudi Breaks, and the hip hop preacher.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is it. And when I watched this, I became a fan of London Real. I was not looking for you guys. I was looking for Eric Thomas. From that day, I listened to all of those podcasts and watched all those episodes. It changed me. It changed me as a man. It changed me in many, many aspects. Just people like Ryan Holidays. I mean, there are so many guests. Tim Ferriss. I mean, having Tim Ferriss, Eric Thomas, Robert Greene, all those people at that time, it was huge.
Yeah, it was special, man. But you're a scholar then. You know all these names. You know all these people. So you must be very well read yourself, right?
My English has limits.
Yeah, but so watching them on the episode is a great way to get that knowledge.
Oh yeah. I feel like London Real, still after this real talk, I'm gonna listen again and again and again those episodes. I'm talking about me. English is not my first language. You guys taught me English. Can you believe that?
No, I can't believe that. You're blowing my mind tonight.
You're
blowing my mind tonight.
You guys taught me to speak English. I mean, Anthony Exanaguru taught me how to write a poem. This Tim Ferriss. I mean, a lot of people, like a lot of episodes, and sometimes, just like you said, it is at this very moment, like the minutes you are listening the podcast at the gym, in the subway, in the metro, and you kind of let yourself go, and you really think that you are in the studio with those people.
Tsunamita!
You feel them. Actually, you said it many times, like, people watch the episode on the video, but they switch to the podcast very quickly.
I say.
And because the sound of the voices is so powerful.
Yeah, there's people that do it both ways.
Really?
I had Danny in here from Busted, and he loved the audio.
Oh, it's down there,
really go somewhere and really get it into his head. But a lot of people love seeing the faces too, and they love seeing like, what does that person look like when they say it? What does Jocko Willing look like? What does Dan Pena look like when he's getting mad? So yeah, I know.
I know how I look like now.
It's both, right?
Yeah. I didn't like Dan Pena at the beginning.
Right, yeah, well, a lot of people didn't. I didn't either. Yeah, that's changed a little bit. So yeah, Dan Pena's just put me on his wall of fame in the castle and set me up with all of his influencers and billionaires, and it's a big honor, so I'm going to go up there in about 3 weeks and accept the award in front of a big class of the people. So that's been the news this week. But we're answering questions tonight live, so if you got them for Jabal or you got them for me, put them on Facebook, on YouTube, and we're going to ask them. Tell me a little bit more about you. You stalked us for a long time, watching London Real from the outside.
Yeah.
And then you finally joined the Academy, and then I put you on the spot, didn't I? I did.
What a rite of passage.
What? First of all, why? What made you join the Academy?
Well, you know, I was scared for a long time. I may look like this extrovert, but I'm not that much because I'm an actor. I used to be a radio host, TV host, model. I did some commercials. I mean, it's easy for me, you know, to have that mask, that image, you know, because it is not me.
Right, but you've learned how to turn it on. That's what actors do. They learn how to perform.
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually, with what I felt with London Real, and I know binge watching all those episodes.
How many shows have you watched?
I really can't say.
Okay,
Really,
right.
it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not playing. It's a lot.
Okay, all right.
And some episodes really I listen to them like maybe 20 times. Like one of my favorite episodes is your episode.
Oh, thank you.
Becoming London Real.
Oh, was that Sully Breaks? That one that I did with
Yes.
Sully. Okay, yeah.
Yes, that one. Because, you know, when people see you and we saw you evolve, we saw the evolution, and you changed. You changed just like you said. I mean, the goatee just went away.
Yeah.
We didn't know
Yeah.
where.
I'm still trying to find it.
And nobody mentioned it. Nobody say, "Oh, you shaved it up." No, it was normal because it was time.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. It's interesting because when I put myself in the chair, most of the time, at least back then, I wouldn't talk much. I was always like try to get the answer from the guest. For me, it was all about the guest. So when I started talking for the first time, some people didn't know my story, they didn't know my history, and yeah, some people watched that. And I've got my third episode coming out on Sunday, where I sit in that chair, and Ziri, who also is known as the dancer, interviews me for 2 hours, and so again, I go really deep. So you know, it's been therapeutic for me. You know, I've changed so much in the past 5 years, and I hope I keep changing. You know, in the next 5 years. And London Real and people like you and people like everybody in the Academy help me change faster, just because they just accelerate my growth.
Well, this technique works very well because I applied it to myself a few weeks ago when I joined the Academy.
Right. So you were saying people think you're an extrovert because I've met you and I always talk about Jabal. He's got great energy and all that stuff. But you, like me, are secretly an introvert.
Because when it's about me, I don't wanna show my real face. I don't wanna, you know, to be that open. So, just like you, I mean, it's a point in common. I let people talk. I listen to them. It was my job on French TV.
Right. Right.
I let people talk, and I'm truly interested. I want to know. I think I feel them. But when it comes to me, well, it's time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't even want to share this on your Facebook tonight.
You pushed me.
I know. That's what I do, man. We all push each other here. So, all right, you're waiting in the background, but you finally decided to push yourself and join.
Yeah.
Why?
Honestly, I wanted to do it before, but the Academy didn't exist. There was no Academy.
Okay, this is years ago.
It was years ago.
Okay.
This is when I left for the U.S. And honestly, when I was abroad, I was not watching a lot of London Real.
Okay.
Because I was away from home, a lot of stuff changed. I was homesick for months. In your place, in your country, in California.
Yeah, it happens.
And it was horrible.
Okay.
But
and then when you got back, you were like, okay, I'm going to join.
it is time.
Okay.
It is time. And the Academy exists now. And it's not about a role that I'm going to play. It's not about a job that they're going to tell me, okay, do this, do that. You look like this, just stay there. No, it's going to be about opening. And it's going to be about me being myself.
new for you.
A little bit.
Okay, okay. And how's it going so far?
Very good.
Tell people what happened on the baptism by fire, that first live call with us.
Well,
me.
that first live call was magic. Magic, because I didn't expect what happened, and you know, it was a very good live call. And
What did happen? What was that? Which call was that? If you can explain, like what was going on? It was a bunch of Academy members, right?
yes,
It was one of the mastermind calls. So every month,
Yeah.
I get on and I talk about things that we know here that we've learned, like how to broadcast yourself, how to start a business, how to find a mentor, those kind of things. And I think you were on a call with a bunch of other Academy members, right? We had a great call, a lot of people talking, interacting, and at the end of the call, what happened?
Well, you said, okay, one of you is gonna help me with this because I need somebody to take on the call, and that person is gonna kind of moderate
Yeah, moderate the call.
the call. And well, who wanna do this? I don't know when, I don't know how, but I raised my hand and I was like, I want to do this. Let me tell you the truth. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do this. But I just raised my hand and I said, yeah. I mean, it's time. Like, that's a sign. That's a sign. I know Brian. He's a friend. He's a person that I know, and he helped me with all of this. But he didn't know me. And when he said, okay, Jabal, you want to do this? Am I seeing a thumbs up? I'm like, yes, let's do this. And after this, we talked for like 3 hours.
3 hours. So you were the moderator, so what you did is you went to each one of the Academy members who are all around the world,
Yeah.
all from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
different ages, races, colors, genders, whatever. And then you asked each one of them to introduce themselves, I think, say where they're from, and I think their most important goal for the year, right? And everyone goes around, and you moderated this.
20, 25, 30.
30 people, yeah, right.
Mhm.
And you were terrified a little bit,
Yeah.
and it went on for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
I think
And
I
it was
remember because
magic.
we left here and the call was still going on, you know. It was like,
Yeah, I mean, Julian was there. I could see his name. And,
yeah.
and it was magic because, you know, I used to do this a little bit in French radio, but this is not my language.
Okay.
And I don't know how do I feel, you know, kind of hosting something in English. And still, you know, everybody was so benevolent. Everybody was so nice. Everybody was so opened up. And you helped me with that rule, like name, goals, and next one.
Yeah.
And it was all great. And those people became friends on the Academy. And trust me, they had no mercy on me after this.
Really? As in what? They wanted you back?
They wanted me to achieve my goals.
Right.
So they kept me accountable about what I wanted to do for years. They were like, oh, you Jabal Big Mouth, so you're going to have to do this now. Where are your videos?
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do inside the Academy, and a lot of people don't know because they, like you, stalked us for many years on the outside. But inside the Academy, you know, I got those 5 rules, right? So it's respect, love, vulnerability. The 4th one is action and accountability, as you now know. And the 5th one is fun. We try to have all of those 5 things, but, you know, you're not here to hang out. We're here to, like, let's do some stuff. Let's make some videos, and let's get you to the next level. And you found out real fast, right?
Oh, yeah, taking action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after this, I mean, I achieved my goals. And some goals, I was late on them for really, it's still hard for me to say it, but really years. 8, 9, 10 years.
Wow.
How crazy is
It
this?
is crazy, and it's easy to let that stuff slide. And the thing is that most of our friends, they don't hold us to our goals.
No.
And unfortunately, a lot of our friends kind of like us the way we are. Because it's scary when one of your friends wants to be something different, because if they want to be something different, they're probably not going to be your friend anymore. And so as much as we love them, sometimes we want to protect our own heart and keep them just kind of where they're at. Happens with families too sometimes. And when they see you like, I'm going to do crazy stuff, I'm going to host a show in English, and I'm going to move to London, and I'm going to, and then all your friends will be like, no, you're not. And then all of a sudden you feel that negative energy, and sometimes you don't go anywhere. And so one of the beautiful parts of the academy and all those people you met that night is that they never met you before.
No.
But they're coming from the same vibe. They've watched probably 50 shows before. And they know they're in there to do something. So when they get on with them, it's like this electric energy that you don't feel all the time, right? And then you're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. You know? And you did it so much that now you hijacked my own academy and you hold your own live call inside. Is that true?
It was a community.
How dare you, Jabal?
Inside the community, right?
I love it.
That was crazy, really.
I love
After
it.
this, it was Svetlana. I think she's from Russia.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she has a Zoom account, stuff like. I mean, we tried to do with what we had.
That's how all great things are started.
We talked like we were like maybe 10, 12, 20, and then the number kept going up. And each Thursday, we were like, okay, let's do a call each Thursday at 8 London time.
Right, so 8 o'clock Thursday, London time.
Yeah.
And that's open to any Academy member.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you guys have a strict format, don't you? You're starting to get like a regimented format, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
Well, it's everybody speak like for 5 minutes about the goals he achieved, what are the next goals,
Okay.
introduce himself if they are new or if they are new members on the call,
Okay.
and at the end to nominate somebody they want to know more about.
Okay, right.
So-
Nice. So they put someone on the spot, and they're like,
Yeah.
we want to know more about you.
And after this, it's cruising.
I can imagine. Dude, I love this. I love this. I just want to say we are answering questions, so if you got a question for Jabal or for me, jump on. A lot of people are like, well done, Jabal. That's what Jason's saying. Steve Med's like, yo, Jabal, Jason Bichelle, Jabal. Basically, everybody wants Jabal. No one mentioned me here. I love it. I love it. So we're answering more questions if you want to submit one for Jabal. You sent me an email the
Yeah.
next day,
Yeah.
and I still have it, and I might want to show it to people at some point. And you were like, Brian, like last night was one of the most incredible nights of my life. I spent 2 or 3 hours meeting all these people from around the world. You said like I haven't felt like that in a long time, right?
Yeah, that was magic.
What did
really.
ultimately, what did it feel like?
Man, I can't really explain this because it was very strong. You know, I sent you this email. You said it was a few days. It was just
Next
after.
day. It was that night.
That night. And you replied to me right after. Like, it was super late. And I was like, this man doesn't sleep.
It was a good email. And I remembered you.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't believe I'm writing this email. And when you replied to me, I was like, man, Brian is real. that's a real person. And you know, it was very, very, very strong because I felt like I knew all those people. And I remember what I wrote on this email. I told you, Brian, after this call, I feel like I had a rush of 30 London Real episodes
Oh, wow. It's like 30 at the same time.
at the same time. And I've been binge watching episodes from Ryan Holiday, Robert Greene, like
Yeah, all the big ones.
yeah,
So it felt
Dorian
really good.
Yates,
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, I mean, like you know what it's like when you get a bunch of London Reelers in the same room. Now you've been to one of the focus groups, so like you saw that. I don't know what you expected, but you came up again from Paris. I really appreciate that, by the way. And like on that call, when you get like 50 or 100 of us together in one place, it is this weird kind of energy, you know. And like you're talking in the room, and everyone is on the same wavelength, you know. And I talked for like 3 hours at those things, and everyone's like, yeah. And we're active meditating. We're doing Wim Hof breathing. We're talking about goals and being accountable and getting out of comfort zones. And like everybody's on that same page, and it's something special. You know?
It was very special. At the super group, it was very important for me to be there in flesh, for real.
Yeah.
Because what I felt that night on that call, it was multiplied at the super group.
What was it like? What were the people like in the experience like with Super Focus?
It felt like I knew everybody.
Yeah, well, he probably did know a lot of people, right?